Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another Daily Dice. We ask the dice for a message and find out what that is. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And anybody new here, welcome. This is that reminder we're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. If you are truly new here, we do things a lot differently here, so I just suggest strapping in, hanging on, and you and I are going to find out together. Should the messages happen to resonate along the way, it would truly mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that, today we are doing the message you've been too blocked to hear. And we're going to be using the Soul's Journey lesson cards by James Van Praagh. We're going to see what it is that you need to hear today. Okay, so Source, what oracle card will help us better understand the message that my fellow humans have been too blocked to hear? The message that my fellow humans have been too blocked to hear. What do they need to know today, Source? Okay. The message that my fellow humans have been too blocked to hear. What Soul Journey Oracle card will help us better understand the message my fellow humans have been too blocked to hear, Source? Okay, thank you. On the bottom, we have adversity. I accept challenges that are the best way to learn. So you've had to go through a lot of adversity recently, a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties, and maybe just that wondering, like, why do I have to experience this? Why does it feel like it never stops? Is disconnecting you from connecting with the reasons or the lessons that you're supposed to be gleaning from those hard challenges, right? That's how we learn, and that's how we grow, is to experience challenges. And it's frustrating because it's like sometimes we just want peace, 100% peace. Like, I don't want nobody to bother me. I don't want nothing to go wrong. But we live in a contrast world, and that is not how this world works. So there's always going to be high highs, low lows, and something in the middle, because that's what it is to be in this realm. And so right now, accepting these adversities and remembering that when you go through these challenges, you're growing more, you're gaining resilience, you're gaining understanding of self even more. So let's find out what the dice have to say. So Source, what is the message that my fellow humans have been too blocked to hear? What do they need to know today? What is the message my fellow humans have been too blocked to hear? What would you like to bring through today? Okay, so, all right, we've got the third house. We've got Pisces energy and Neptune. It's interesting. So I'm going to talk about it because it's coming through. I actually don't have any love cards out today, which is hilarious because I wasn't expecting to do a love reading, but we'll make do with what I've got. I feel like with the third house coming through, this is talking about those of you that are on a higher alignment journey or a twin flame journey. Okay, and with that being said, this is going to be a challenging message. I just want to get that out right away. But we are talking with the third house, Pisces and Neptune. This is talking about not seeing clearly or being stuck in an illusion that seems to have taken precedence over everything else. And oftentimes, I will say that's what is taking over, is this desire to be in a relationship with our twin flame rather than allowing the journey to unfold as it's meant to. Right? So we're trying to control the outcome. We're trying to make sure that we do enough healing. We're trying to make sure that we let go of enough things. We're trying to control the outcome. And that is control. When we're saying, only when I heal enough, then my twin flame will come in. Or only as long as I'm doing this hard work, then my twin flame is coming in. But when we're not doing it for ourselves, and we're doing it just for the connection in and of itself, then we're not actually absorbing what we're meant to from the journey. And that's why a lot of adversity comes up, because there's a lot of resistance to allowing things to happen the way they're meant to happen. So that comes with the question, if you were never to get involved in a relationship, in a physical manifested relationship with your twin flame in this earthly realm, in this earthly life that you're living, is there any way you could be okay with that? And if the answer is no, why? Why is the answer no? Because we're not on this journey simply for this ultimate, what everyone says, the most romantic relationship. And if you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you understand that when we talk about this, everybody's so fixated on the romantic connection that we're not talking about twin flames that are in situations where they're not able to be in a romantic connection, i.e. children, cousins, friends, people the same sex, people the opposite sex, right? So we're not talking about the manifestation of twins that are in situations where they're literally just meant to help each other grow and not be in a romantic relationship, because love is something that is so highly romanticized and marketed in this world that it is something that everybody wants. And yet, to be on the twin flame journey, it's like, oh, let's romanticize it even more and make it like, I'm so special, I get this love connection. And I'm not discrediting those that have their connection. Everybody's journey is different. But we also have to open up to that same realization that maybe our journey is different too. And so instead of focusing on the connection with this person, how can I focus on being one with myself and one with Source, with God, with the universe, or with whatever you call the all that is, okay? Because that's ultimately what the twin flame journey is about. And that's where the greatest healing comes from. It's when you're taking your focus off of the person and focusing it back on yourself. And ultimately, when we think about that, our twin flame is us and we are our twin flame. So if we're loving our twin flame so much and we want them to come in for this relationship so much, that's us asking for ourselves to be there for ourselves. But if we're not doing that for ourselves, we're going to always be looking for someone outside of us who can fulfill that within us. And even if you're not on a twin flame journey, this could absolutely resonate with you for a love relationship. Right? But we see that this does come from childhood, this feeling that you don't belong, or this feeling that you need someone to complete you, or something outside of you is going to give you the courage to feel like you can let go and be your true self. You do not need permission from anyone or anything to be the truth of who you are in this moment. With the Pisces and the Neptune energy, we see that this is something that can heal deeply, can open you up. And I keep getting Kundalini awakening here, but the Kundalini awakening will not occur until you open up to the possibilities, okay? Not the expectations. The expectations are what are keeping you small and in this reverberating energy of going back and only wanting them and only needing them and only seeing them and not seeing the journey in and of itself. Those of us that are twin flames on this journey, we're here to serve the collective. It's never been about the romantic connection. We're here to break down societal beliefs of love. And that's why Pisces is coming, because this is something where wisdom and acknowledging that wisdom and directly connecting with the Akashic record is coming through here, and letting go of this idea that it has to be the way that I say it is, right? The illusion is our ego convinces us that it has to be XYZ. When in reality, Source could take us on a journey that's A to the Z to the Y to the N to the D to the Z back to the B, right? Like there's no straight path here. But when you're saying it has to be a linear path, then you're missing vital components to that. And that's why a lot of challenges are coming up, because they're trying to break down that resistance that's in place that's keeping you from opening up to a higher love. Why do I hear that song right now? Bring me a higher love. Oh, oh. I hear that right now coming in so strong. Yeah, so it's like coming into a higher love. It's not the person. The higher love has never been about the person. It has always been about your connection to the divine and the divine realms. And that's the higher love, because it doesn't get higher than that. So it's coming back to that divine connection and expressing that divinity within self, and knowing that you are already a complete being as you are in this moment. Wow, this is intense. Okay, I'm going to use the Osho Zen cards today because I feel like they have a message in regards to this. So Source, what is the message my fellow humans have been too blocked to hear? And isn't it interesting that this is the one this is the message that's going to come out, I've been too blocked to hear. Well, it's easy to get stuck in our expectation of the way things should go. And feeling like, oh, I can't connect with anybody else, or I can't date anybody else, or I can't go and see anybody else because I have this love that is supposed to be mine and only mine. Well, really, at the end of the day, they're not ours, because that's possession, and that doesn't work, right? That is something we're trying to break down. That is something we're trying to let go of, is possession and obsession over love. Look, we've got angelic guidance coming in with the 3 of coins. This is the guidance card. This is your angels coming to give you this guidance, to give you this knowledge and this wisdom to help you move forward, to help you move into the next step, to walk away from all this adversities that's coming from the resistance. What else would you like to say? Completion. This is so that you can complete the cycle. Let go of what was holding you back. Look, there's a lot of broken pieces here, right? But it's a puzzle. If a puzzle wouldn't exist if it wasn't broken into pieces, or cut into pieces. Maybe we should say cut, because you're not broken. But it doesn't mean you've not been cut. You have been cut. You've been cut by the pain. You've been cut by the anxiety. You've been cut by the awful situations that you've gone through in life. And you're rebuilding yourself and understanding what that is. Who am I without someone else completing me? Who am I as a complete being, right? And look at this. We have 3 and 3, because this is 21 and this breaks into 3. So we have 33 and the 3rd house coming in. Oh my gosh, Source, what a synchronistic moment in this reading. This is intense, so intense. This is you letting go of those ideas that have been fueling your desire to heal, and rather coming back to a place of healing, because healing is what's right for you, not for someone else. It never should have been for someone else, but no one told us that when we started. It's something you kind of learn along the way, and you're like, oh geez, that totally makes sense, right? When you break it down, it makes sense. But if no one's told you, it doesn't make sense, because you don't know, right? So there's no hard feelings here. Listen to your inner voice. I do feel like you've been getting intuitive nudges about this with the inner voice coming out. This is the Popess energy here. This is also receiving that divine guidance, that psychic sense connected with the Pisces energy as well. So you could be a Pisces, have Pisces highly aspect in your chart. You could have Capricorn highly aspect in your chart, or Taurus, Libra. I'm sorry. You could have Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius highly aspect in your chart. Okay, but this is interesting energy, because it's like you're receiving this guidance, but there's still that part of you that wants to resist it. No, I can't do that, right? And with the number 2, she's representative of the duality in Earth. The hot, the cold, the yes, the no, the letting go and the holding on, right? The ups and the downs. We live in a dualistic world. We live in a contrast environment. That's just the way this realm is. There's no perfection to life, because life is always going to be lifing, and people are always going to be peopling. And keeping that in mind, that you're a separate entity, individual, I should say, you're a separate individual from your twin. Your twin is a separate individual from you. So no matter what you do in this life, your twin still has free will to choose what they do with theirs. And that's something that we've been finding hard to embrace in the twin flame culture, because we're saying, no, there is no free will on the twin flame journey. But at the end of the day, the one thing that Source promised us in life is free will. Why would Source not let that be so with twin flames? That just doesn't make any sense, especially when we're here to show others how powerful we can become when we express our free will from a place of love. We have to look at these things sometimes from a logical standpoint, rather than saying, well, destiny is what's leading me. It's not that destiny is not playing a part. It's not that fate's not playing a part. It's not even that Source isn't playing a part. But look back on your life, and look back on some of the decisions that you've made in your life. That has absolutely set the tone for some of the things that you've experienced moving forward, has it not? That's you exercising your free will. It doesn't mean it was right or wrong. It means that you made the choice you felt was right in that moment. And that brought to you whatever lesson, adversity, challenge, peace, whatever came with it. Love, experience, everything that comes with that in that moment. Because it was exactly what your soul needed. in that moment. So this is about letting go. Wow! Oh my gosh, Source coming in with the ringer. I didn't even know this was here. We have the South Node destined to release. As I was saying, it's all about letting go. Yes, thank you, Source. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Source. Woo! You ever just want to sing hallelujah? Because that's how I feel right now. Like, just this feeling is so present, and it's just... and it's hard. Like, I'm not saying this is easy. This is not easy. I've been down this journey. I've been down this road for a long time. There's been a lot of people who've been on this journey for a long time. But sometimes what's hard is we get stuck in a cycle saying it has to be this way. It has to be this way. It has to be that way. We won't let go of the cycle because we're just sitting around waiting for things to change. And when they never change, we're like, oh, it must be something that I did. And while that's the truth, yes, it's something that you did. It's not because you didn't do the right things. It's because of holding on to expectation. Infidelity. Manipulative social circles encourage betrayal. Social circles encourage infidelity and temptation surround you. Surrounded by temptation and struggles to stay loyal. So I do feel like there is a twin here that has a third party. And you're thinking that if I leave this connection, or if I go and do something for myself, that's me being unfaithful to them. But ultimately, they have their own life to live. You're choosing yourself and your own happiness. That's not wrong. And that's what Source is saying here. That's not wrong for you to choose your own happiness, right? And it says on the top here, we are both holding on to secrets, afraid that revealing them will tear us apart, but it's the secrecy or the betrayal itself that's doing the most damage. Here's the thing. If you've done everything within your power to express how you feel, to put forth your best foot in regards to this connection, to come out and say, you know what, I have no regrets for the way that I've shown up, exactly, then, wow, excuse me, someone does not want to hear this and someone does not want me to say it. For you to do everything that's possible, would you stick around for anyone else for the amount of things that you've stuck around for your twin? And this is what we have to ask ourselves. Because the thing is, yes, the love is deeper than any love that you've ever had. But at the end of the day, we have to remember love is not enough. There has to be consistency, respect, equal give and take. Right? And if these other things are not there, and along with whatever your core values are, honesty, honor, integrity, whatever your core values may be, if those things are non-existent, why are you putting your entire life on hold for if this was anyone else, you would have let go a long time ago. You would have surrendered the connection. Let them fly. They're a butterfly and they don't deserve to be caged. And you are a butterfly and you don't deserve to be caged. But holding on is what's caging you both and not realizing how deeply it's cutting you. I do feel like Source has someone that's trying to come in for you, that maybe you will have a life partner with this individual. Maybe you will. But I do feel like this is a bond that's coming in that will be unbroken, that will help you heal on a much deeper level with the ring card coming out here. Okay, but you have to be willing to take a risk. You have to take a risk here. Glory favors the brave, okay? And sticking around and waiting, that's not being brave, is it? That's being so fearful that, oh my gosh, what if I actually do connect with someone else and then my twin decides to come in? And if they come back in, say they breadcrumb you and they leave again and you let go of somebody who you really love. But just because your twin came in and breadcrumbed you again, you let them go because of that. Right? Is that fair to you? And is that fair to the other person involved? But your twin flame's still in this give and take, give and take, give and take. And everyone's like, well, it's your energy, it's your energy. And sure, maybe at the end of the day, it could be your energy. We are open to that as well. But ultimately, if it was our energy, wouldn't there be more twin flames in connection than there are? Like, we don't stop to think about that, right? We don't stop to think about the truth behind it. It's like everybody that's leading everyone else is oh my gosh, like, you can have your twin flame connection, and it's like, well, are you in a twin flame connection? And the first thing they'll say is no. And you never know who's leading you, and you could know, like, people are like, oh yeah, I'm in my twin flame connection. Well, where are they? You know, like, these are things that you can ask yourself, but just calling yourself a twin flame is not the same as being led down this absolutely monstrosity of a journey that is overwhelming and unbearable at times, right? Why? Because we're literally letting go of everything we ever understood to know about love, about connection, and about our inner truth. It says, give up the previous plan. I cannot make this energy up. Release old patterns. Embrace change. Clear the way for renewal. Okay? Give up holding on here. Start to take care of yourself. You deserve to be taken care of. You deserve to be the love of your life. Do you deserve your twin flame? You know what? That's neither here nor there, because at the end of the day, if your twin flame doesn't give to you the way that you give to them, you don't deserve that. But it's hard to see that when the love runs deeper than our hearts know have ever experienced before. But love isn't enough. It's not. And it won't be enough in the twin flame journey either, because you could love someone with your entire heart, but is it enough if they beat you bloody? Is it enough if they cheat on you? Is it enough if they don't show up, if they're not consistent, if they give you a child and then they leave and they disappear? Is love enough? But we're too scared to ask these same questions when it comes to our twin flame because, oh, this is a divinely guided relationship. What if it's about so much more than the relationship? Ooh, I felt that. I felt that hit home. I felt that hit guts. And I also felt that get a lot of resistance as well. Because, well, this whole time everybody's been telling me it's about the relationship. That's because everybody believes that it's this grand love that we're supposed to manifest in this life. But our grand love is with divine, with source. And that will never change. If you've made it this far, let me give you a round of applause, because this is a very difficult energy. This is a very difficult message to receive. And not everybody is open to receiving it. But if you've made it this far, it shows that your soul is ready to receive this so that you can work on your healing for yourself and not to get your twin flame, not to get that relationship, so that you can take back your life and let go of so much adversity and come back into this place of balance within yourself. Ignore. Wow. We've got focus, detox, and overlook. There's something here you've been overlooking. Have they been ignoring you? Did they ghost you? Right? Would you have stuck around if anybody else had ghosted you? These are questions that you have to ask yourself. And if the answer is no, if it was someone else, why then are you doing it for your twin flame? You're literally saying this person can treat me with as much disrespect as they want, and I'm just going to let them. That was never what Source intended. Not ever, not once was that ever what Source intended. I just heard someone ask, then why is it happening? Because at the end of the day, they're still a person. They're still human, just like you and I. They've got their own problems to deal with. They've got their own things to heal from. Okay, we're not in control of that. They are. And if they're choosing not to heal, and if they're choosing to resist their journey, look at all the adversity that you're dealing with. What makes you think they're not dealing with adversity too? Because they're resisting. Right? But you get to make that choice for yourself and yourself alone. On the bottom, Capricorn, buckle down and get to work. Why am I hearing that? It's a second star on the left and straight on until morning. You know what? Make a wish. But make a wish for yourself. Not for a person. Make a wish for yourself. And that's what this really feels like. I feel like you've taken a hit on your self-esteem because of them. Your confidence has taken a hit because of them. It's like, well, they haven't shown up, so I must not be lovable. Like, there's all these things that are getting triggered because they're not in your life. And instead of healing those, you're just like, oh, well, I'll just keep focusing on the journey that I've been doing because that's going to bring them in. You're not looking at how they're making you feel. If they're making you feel like crap, why are you keeping space for them? It's okay to love them from a distance. You know, we talk about that acceptance of where someone's out, loving someone from a distance, holding compassion for that person from a distance. We can do that from a distance. I pray that you find happiness. I want you to smile every day. I want you to find the healing that brings you to your dreams, whatever that is. But we don't have to hold on to that. We don't have to think about it every waking moment of every day, even though it's hard with our twin, because I know, I've been there, done that. It is hard, and there are moments when they come up and they're poking at the edge of our energy, like, hey, I'm here, and it's like sometimes we have to be like, look, I appreciate you're here, but I have to worry about me. Because my life is my life to live, and you're not living it for me. I have to do that for myself. Isolation. Wow. This is what it feels like here. This loneliness that's coming through, and it's very strong in your reading, and it feels like you've isolated yourself from putting yourself out there or connecting with other people because of this relationship, because of this connection. And I already know there's a lot of you saying, I don't want to love anybody else. But when you're saying I don't want to love anybody else, you're saying that love isn't infinite. You're saying it only exists for this person and this person alone, like as if we can never cultivate more of it. The truth is love is, it's not this finite thing. It's unending. It's unending. Source is an infinite source of love, which means that even though we have this deep love for our twin, it doesn't mean that we'll never be able to cultivate love for another person. Will it be the same? No. But is any love that you've had in your life the same? No. Why? Because your love is reflecting on the relationship and the person in front of you. It doesn't mean that your love is conditional. It doesn't mean that, right? You're learning unconditional love, but unconditional love comes with some very difficult lessons as well, because it means we have to let go of everything that we thought was commitment worthy and open up to what is possible. Aries, independence, bravery, and passion. And Aries is the start of the zodiac wheel, right? So it's the big bang. It's making a huge break away from something, coming into that spring energy, that renewal, right? Look, oh my gosh, the big bang. And we have the bang. Oh, I can't with you right now, Source. Thank you so much for all of these synchronicities showing that this is the energy that's coming in. We have warning. My warnings were there, hidden in plain sight, but you didn't take them seriously, and now we're forced to confront what was left unspoken. There's a lot of warnings. They've made it very clear. Look, it's been 10 years since you've talked to them. Would you have waited around for anybody else? And I already hear you guys saying no. I already heard it. I heard it come out. So why them? Because that's what people told me I'm supposed to do. But what if it's not what you're supposed to do? What if the only thing that you're supposed to do is take care of you and be happy? Even if that means finding someone that's not your twin. If you're so worried about having this relationship, maybe it's time to go connect with soulmates. Maybe it's time to go connect with other people and see if there's somebody out there who's in a better position to be with you. And I already heard, but what if my twin comes back? And what if they come back just to breadcrumb you again because you've directed your attention somewhere else? You don't deserve to be breadcrumbed, no matter who it is. I don't care if this is your destined partner for life. You don't deserve to be breadcrumbed. And if no one else is going to tell you that, and I excuse the language, you better be damn straight. I'm going to tell you that, because you do not deserve that. You don't deserve disrespect. You don't deserve dishonesty. You don't deserve disloyalty. You deserve someone who's going to put you first the way you put others first. But if no one else is going to tell you that, then hear it straight from this mouth and this mouth alone. You deserve someone who mirrors you and the love, loyalty, honor, respect, and kindness and compassion that you give. And if your twin isn't going to give that to you, and this may sound like I'm being triggered, but I'm not, because it's a very forceful message coming through from Source. Source doesn't want you to flit around in life feeling like this is all I'm good for. That was never the goal. That was never the end result of incarnating in this earth at this time, even with your twin. Because we don't want to look at the negative aspects of the twin flame journey, but there are some. There are actually quite a few negative aspects of it. And one of them is that it has to be this person and this person alone, and us not finding solace in being where we are with ourselves and saying, I can be okay without this person. But if you want love in your life, maybe you're going to have to open up to the possibility of who it can be. Speculation, chasing quick gains, and ignoring long-term stability. Oh my gosh, Source, you are next level right now. Thank you so much. overestimating potential returns and underestimating the risks. That's everything I just said. I'm so passionate right now. I'm just so like, the message is so clear, right? Chasing quick gains. Oh, I get this love of a lifetime. It's the love that no one has and everybody wants. But ignoring long-term stability, someone that's going to breadcrumb you for life because they don't want to take care of their own crap. Overestimating potentials. Oh, it's the love that everybody says. It's the love that everybody says that you don't get a better love than this. While underestimating the risks, being heartbroken, hurt, time and time again. You've already gone through that. And I don't care who it is. You don't deserve to be put through that with anybody. No matter how deep your love runs for that person, you don't deserve to be put through that. And if you're getting put through that, then you know, as well as I know, that you have to make a choice for yourself. And what's that going to be? Are you going to choose yourself, or are you going to choose the potential of this situation? What are you going to choose? Get lost in the lavender haze. Fall into Source. Fall into that bliss, that love that Source has for you. Source is waiting, honey, with open arms. They come back home to me. I will love you more than you ever thought was possible. I will give you everything that you need in this moment. I will love you because that's all you have ever deserved. And I'm getting so emotional right now. Because you do deserve the world. But don't put your world into a box and expect it to just be that. Open up the box and let your world become exactly what it was meant to. And live your life. And be free. Be free. 12th house, rest and rejuvenate. There's a recovery period from this. Absolutely. This is a difficult journey. I don't care who you are. This is not an easy journey. If it were, there would be more people in union and it would not be as up and down as it is. This is not an easy journey. And maybe that's because we're making it far more complicated than it has to be because we have expectations for it. So now it's about letting go of our expectations and coming back to this place of rest, rejuvenation, and connecting. 12th house, Pisces energy, Neptune, Pisces energy, the wisdom. The Pisces is the elder of the zodiac. Thinking ancestor, the elder of the tribe, right? So the elder of the zodiac, this is an elder coming through, giving wisdom here. The midhaven, mind your reputation, right? You are not identifying as a twin flame. That's not your identity. Okay, it's just something that you're doing while you're here in this earth, but that's not who you are. But if you're holding on to an identity, well, I'm a twin flame, I'm a twin flame, I'm a twin flame, and everything you do is because I'm a twin flame, I'm a twin flame, I'm a twin flame, you're identifying it with that label, and it's just a label. It's just a label. It's a hard journey. Life is a hard journey regardless. Let's not make it more complicated than it is. But don't identify with it, and that's what midhaven is saying here. Mars, jump into action. I feel like this is saying take care of yourself. Let's see what this is. Oh my gosh. Didn't I say that they ghosted you? And we have ghost coming out. Wow. With the isolation. This is what's made you feel so isolated, is because they've ghosted you. I do want to check this out from the book because I feel like there's an extra message here for you about ghost. Come on, ghost. Where are you at? Peace. I feel like you're right here. Yes, you are. When this card comes up in a reading, it may be because a ghost from your past has been paying you a visit. Your ghost may be something unresolved or repressed, or a person or a situation from your past. Pay attention to what is coming up emotionally during this time. Why do you think this ghost is coming to you now? What is here? What is it here to teach you? And then the isolation card is right next to it in the book. Being isolated can feel lonely, but it can be tremendously healing. When you're feeling secluded, it can be a time to learn more about yourself, to dive deep into the parts of yourself that you can't reach when you're around others. Learn the importance of some time alone. Give yourself the chance to heal and to rediscover yourself. And isolation is talking about too, like, don't isolate yourself. It's okay to come into, into solitude, but don't isolate just for the fact of saying like, oh, I can never connect with someone else, because that's not the truth. We're humans and we're naturally social creatures. Even for those of us on the spiritual journey, we heal when we have other people in our lives. We heal when we connect with our soul tribe. So don't isolate yourself and potentially keep from meeting people who are meant to be on the journey with you. Let's take a look at your card. Denial. Wow. Whoa, this is intense. This was an intense reading. I don't know if I'm going to post this. I'm just going to say that because this is an intense reading and I know someone needs to hear it. So I'm probably going to post it, but I might have to think on this one for a little while before I post it, because this is a difficult reading and not everybody wants to hear these things, which is why denial came up. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight of awareness, right? So it's easy to sit in denial. It's easy to sit in this place of like, no, 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 you don't even know. Like everybody else says. My mom had a famous saying that she told me my whole life. And it's coming through so strongly right now. You know, anytime I was like, well, everyone else is doing this, or everyone else has this, or everyone else has gotten this. My mom would always say, if everyone else was walking off a cliff, would you walk off with them? So if the whole twin flame society, right? The whole collective of twin flames is saying it has to be about a relationship. Just because they're saying it doesn't make it so. Because that's a lot of people who are twin flame who haven't connected with twin flame. And I'll have to see if I can find the lady. There's this lady I've been watching. I think it's called the Palladian. She's either the Palladian Oracle or the Palladian Sister. I can't remember. It's something like that. You could check it out. Absolutely gorgeous woman. But she actually gave up on the whole relationship with her twin flame and found her true soulmate that was meant for her in this lifetime. And that's because we're healing. And so for a lot of us in this lifetime, maybe we're not going to have that relationship with our twin flame, or maybe we can't have that relationship with our twin flame because of extenuating circumstances. But it doesn't mean that we're meant to be unhappy. Okay. And if I find some videos, I'll post them in the community center for you. It says, it is time to open up and be completely honest with yourself at this present moment. Buried fears and resentments do not die. They merely fester and cause dis-ease. Only by bringing them to the surface and examining them in the light of day with love and compassion will you banish them from your life. It may bring you pain and heartache to reflect upon these situations again, but you are only giving them power by suppressing them. The dangerous seeds of denial will grow and spread and manifest unless you uproot them, examine them, and release them. This is the only way to become whole and healthy. Learn not to bury painful emotions in the first place. Deal with them as they come and take all the time you need to neutralize them without hiding them. The flame just went out. Your soul wants to live honestly and authentically in the now. Don't hinder it by placing emotional landmines on its path. Wow, how synchronistic and powerful is that message? Don't hinder it by placing emotional landmines on its path. And this is everything emotional is this journey, right? And that's why it's hard. It's hard to listen to messages that could potentially help us along our journey because it's not what we want to hear, but oftentimes it's exactly what we need to hear. And that's what it feels like with this reading. Wow, this was intense. Okay, so this is what I have here for you. Okay, if you felt like this was your message, leave the little diamond emoji down below and say, it is through pressure of the unknown and the known that I am formed into the magnificent light being that I am. Without expectations, I let myself soar into the life that's mine. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It will have everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member on the channel. With that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this intensely powerful message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.